The Hidden Dynasty episodes 11 to 20. The Sterling Holdings headquarters erupted into chaos. Executives rushed through the corridors. Phones rang constantly. Employees whispered in small groups. Nobody understood what had happened. 31% of the company had suddenly changed hands. And the buyer was a company nobody had ever heard of. Apex Meridian. Marcus stormed into Victor's office. "Father?" Victor looked up from his phone. "What happened?" "The shares." "The shares." Victor stood. "What shares?" 31% of Sterling Holdings. Victor's face went pale. "That's impossible. I checked 3 times. Who owns Apex Meridian?" "Nobody knows." Victor walked toward the window. "Find out." Marcus clenched his fists. "I will." Across town, Adrian sat quietly in a small cafe. Daniel placed a folder on the table. "The acquisition is complete." Adrian opened it. "How much control do we have?" 31%. "Enough." "Enough to block major decisions, but not enough to control the board." Adrian nodded. "Good." Daniel looked confused. "Good. We don't need control yet. What are you waiting for?" Adrian closed the folder. "For Marcus to make a mistake." Daniel smiled. "You already know he'll make one." "I know." Adrian's phone vibrated. A message appeared. "Alina, we need to talk." Now Adrian stared at it. Daniel raised an eyebrow. "Trouble." Adrian stood. "Worse." "What?" "My wife." Alina was waiting in their apartment. The moment Adrian entered, she looked at him. "Sit down." Adrian slowly sat. She placed her phone on the table. On the screen was an article. "Mysterious company acquires 31% of Sterling Holdings." Adrian looked at it. "What about it?" Alina stared at him. "Why does this company keep appearing whenever my life falls apart?" Adrian remained silent. She leaned forward. "Who owns Apex Meridian?" "I don't know." Alina laughed bitterly. "You don't know?" "No." "Then why did you tell me not to sign anything yesterday?" Adrian said nothing. "Why did you know someone was going to sabotage my company?" Still nothing. Her voice softened. "Adrian, who are you?" For several seconds, neither spoke. Finally, Adrian said, "I'm someone who doesn't want to see you lose everything." Elena's eyes filled with tears. "I don't need you to save me, I know." "Then stop doing it." Adrian looked away. "I can't." "Why?" He looked back at her. "Because you're the only person in this world I can't afford to lose." Alina froze. Before she could respond, Adrian's phone rang. He answered. Daniel's voice came through. "Sir, we have a problem." "What?" "We checked the Apex Meridian shareholder registry." Adrian frowned. "And someone else owns 12%. Adrian stood. "Who?" Daniel hesitated. "We don't know." Adrian's expression hardened. "Find out. We're trying." Then Daniel said something that made Adrian's blood run cold. "Sir, the shares were purchased 20 years ago." Adrian's hand tightened around the phone. 20 years? "Yes." "Under whose name?" A long silence. Then Daniel answered. "Your father's." Adrian stopped breathing. His father had supposedly died 20 years ago. Yet somehow, he had owned shares in the company Adrian had only created 3 years ago. Adrian whispered. "That doesn't make sense." Daniel replied. "There's more." "What?" "The shares were purchased 3 days after your father's death." Adrian's eyes narrowed. Someone had been using his father's identity. Someone who had been planning this for 20 years. And suddenly Adrian realized something terrifying. His parents' deaths hadn't been the beginning of the conspiracy. They had been part of it. Adrian couldn't move. His father's name stared back at him from the documents. Richard Vale, dead for 20 years. Yet somehow, 3 days after his death, Richard had purchased a 12% stake in Apex Meridian's predecessor company. Daniel remained on the phone. "Sir," Adrian finally spoke. "Send me the original records. I already have. Not digital copies." "Everything?" "Understood." Adrian ended the call. Alina watched him carefully. "Was that about your father?" Adrian nodded. "You told me he died in an accident." "He did." "Then how could he buy shares after his death?" Adrian looked at her. "That's what I need to find out." Alina stepped closer. "Let me help." Adrian shook his head. "No." "Why?" "Because this could be dangerous." She frowned. "You don't get to decide that for me." Adrian had no answer. That afternoon, Daniel arrived with the original documents. There was one detail nobody had noticed. The signature wasn't Richard's. It was almost identical. Almost. Adrian studied it. Then he remembered something from childhood. His father had always signed his name with a small diagonal mark beneath the final letter. This signature didn't have it. Forgery, Adrian whispered. Daniel nodded. That's what I thought. Adrian turned the page. There was a second name, Nathan Vale. Adrian's eyes widened. Nathan Daniel looked confused. Who is that? Adrian stared at the name. I don't know. Then he found a photograph attached to the file. A young Richard Vale stood beside another boy. The boy looked almost exactly like him. Adrian whispered. That's my father's brother. Adrian spent the entire night searching through old family records. Nothing. No birth certificate. No school records. No death certificate. Nathan Vale officially did not exist. Yet Adrian had seen his face. Daniel entered the room. We found something. Adrian looked up. What? A private medical record from 22 years ago. Daniel placed it on the desk. The patient's name was Nathan Vale. Adrian read the date. Then his eyes widened. Where was this? Chicago. When? 2 days before your parents' accident. Adrian stood. Take me there. Daniel hesitated. Sir, the clinic closed 15 years ago. Then find whoever worked there. Daniel nodded. Meanwhile, Alina received an unexpected visit. Marcus stood outside her office. What do you want? I came to apologize. She laughed. You. Marcus lowered his head. I made mistakes. Alina didn't trust him. What kind? The kind that nearly destroyed the family. She studied him. Why now? Marcus looked at her. Because I found out who Apex Meridian belongs to. Elena's heart skipped. Whom Marcus smiled. Your husband. Alina stared at Marcus. You're lying. I wish I were. Marcus handed her a folder. Inside were photographs of Adrian entering a private banking facility. Another showed him meeting Daniel. A third showed him standing outside a Vale International building. Alina looked up. What does this prove? That your husband isn't who he claims to be. Marcus leaned closer. Ask him about Apex Meridian. Alina closed the folder. I'll ask him myself. Marcus smiled. That's exactly what I want. After he left, Alina called Adrian. Where are you at the office? Come home. Why, please. Adrian sensed something was wrong. I'm coming. That evening, Alina placed the folder on the table. Explain. Adrian looked at the photographs. His heart sank. Where did you get these, Marcus? Adrian sighed. He doesn't understand what he's looking at. Then explain it. I can't. Elena's eyes filled with anger. You always say that. Adrian looked at her. There are things I'm trying to protect you from. You keep calling it protection. Her voice cracked. But it feels like you're shutting me out. Adrian reached for her. She stepped away. Don't. Silence. Then she said, Are you Apex Meridian? Adrian didn't answer. That was enough. Elena's face fell. I knew it. She walked away. Adrian whispered Elena. She stopped at the door. Don't lie to me again. Adrian and Daniel arrived at the abandoned clinic. Dust covered everything. The building had been empty for years. Daniel found the old records room. Most of this is destroyed. Adrian searched through boxes. Then he found a medical file. Patient Nathan Vale. The photograph attached to the file matched the man from his father's records. Adrian read the notes. Nathan had suffered severe injuries. The doctor had written, Patient refuses to disclose identity. Claims he is being hunted by his own family. Adrian froze. His own family. Daniel looked over his shoulder. There was another page. Patient believes Richard Vale is in danger. Adrian's heart pounded. His uncle hadn't been trying to destroy his father. He had been trying to warn him. Then something fell from the ceiling. Daniel drew his weapon. A man ran through the hallway. Stop. They chased him. The stranger escaped through a back door. Daniel returned, carrying something, a phone. Adrian looked at it. The screen was cracked, but one message remained. Nathan, if Adrian ever discovers the truth, tell him not to trust Evelyn. Adrian stared at the message. His grandmother, the woman he had trusted his entire life. Adrian returned to the Vale estate. Evelyn was sitting beside the fireplace. She looked at him. You've been investigating. Adrian stopped. How did you know? Because you're my grandson. He placed the phone on the table. Who is Nathan? Evelyn's expression changed, only for a second. But Adrian noticed. You know him. She remained silent. Grandmother. Evelyn finally said, your uncle. I thought my father was your only son. He was. Then why was Nathan erased? Evelyn closed her eyes. Because Nathan betrayed the family. Adrian frowned. What did he do? He tried to take the company. Why power? Adrian wasn't convinced. You lied to me. Evelyn looked at him. I protected you from what? She didn't answer. Adrian turned toward the door. Then I'll find the truth myself. Evelyn's voice stopped him. Adrian, he looked back. If you continue. She paused. You may discover that your father wasn't the man you believed him to be. Elena's appointment as CEO was officially challenged. Marcus had gathered enough board members to demand a vote. The boardroom filled. Victor sat at the center. Elena stood before everyone. Marcus spoke first. Elena is inexperienced. A board member nodded. Another raised concerns about the company's financial stability. Elena looked around. Then the doors opened. Adrian walked in. Marcus left. What is he doing here? Adrian ignored him. He placed a folder on the table. Before you vote, look at this. Victor opened it. His face changed. Inside were documents showing that several board members had secretly accepted payments from Marcus. Marcus stood. This is fake. Adrian looked at him. Then call the police. Silence. Adrian turned toward the board. You're not voting today. A director frowned. Who are you to decide that? Adrian smiled. The largest shareholder in this room. Everyone froze. Victor slowly stood. What did you say? Adrian placed a document on the table. Apex Meridian 31% ownership. Marcus stared at him. You. Adrian looked directly at him. The vote is over. Chaos erupted. Victor demanded an explanation. Who authorized this acquisition? Adrian calmly replied. The market. Marcus stepped forward. You can't just walk in here and take control. I didn't take anything. Adrian looked around. I bought what was for sale. The chairman examined the documents. They're legitimate. Marcus's face turned white. Elena stared at Adrian. She finally understood. The mysterious investor. The $500 million. The warnings. All of it. Adrian had been behind everything. After the meeting, Elena followed him. Adrian, he stopped. You own 31% of Sterling Holdings. Yes, you gave me $500 million. Yes. You've been controlling things behind my back. I was trying to help. Elena shook her head. I asked you one question. Adrian looked at her. Are you Apex Meridian? He finally answered yes. Elena closed her eyes. She wasn't angry. She was hurt. Why didn't you tell me? Because I wanted you to love me without knowing. She looked at him. I already loved you. Adrian couldn't respond. Then Elena whispered. But now I don't know what else you've lied about. She walked away. Adrian remained in the hallway. For the first time, his wealth couldn't fix anything. That night, Elena refused to speak to Adrian. She went to the Sterling mansion. Victor was waiting. You know now. Elena looked at him. Know what? Your husband is dangerous. He's not dangerous. Victor laughed. He's secretly worth billions. Elena became silent. Victor continued. People like him don't marry ordinary women for love. Stop. He married you to get access to Sterling Holdings. Elena looked at him. You really believe that? I know it. She turned away. Outside, a black sedan waited. Inside sat a stranger. He watched Elena through binoculars. Then he made a call. She's alone, a voice answered. Good. When do we take her? Tomorrow. Adrian sat alone in his apartment. Daniel entered. We have a problem. Adrian looked up Elena. No. Daniel placed photographs on the table. The black sedan. The stranger. The license plate. We tracked him. Who is he? Daniel hesitated. He's connected to the same network that killed Harrison. Adrian stood. Where is Elena? At the Sterling mansion. Adrian grabbed his coat. Let's go. Daniel followed. Sir, there's something else. What? The man who ordered Harrison's murder wasn't Marcus. Adrian stopped. Then who? Daniel handed him another photograph. It showed Victor Sterling meeting a mysterious man. Adrian stared at it. Victor, that's what it looks like. Adrian's eyes hardened. But why would Elena's father want Harrison dead? Daniel shook his head. We don't know. Adrian looked toward the Sterling mansion. Then his phone rang. Elena, he answered immediately. Elena, her voice was trembling. Adrian, what happened? I think someone is inside the house. The call suddenly went silent, Elena. Nothing. Adrian's expression changed completely. Daniel, yes. Get everyone there. Adrian ran toward the car. Because this time, he looked at the mansion in the distance. They didn't come for me. They came for my wife. And that's the end of episode 10. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to get updated for the latest episodes. Thank you.